All eyes on Doge. Big run up to the moon. Whew. Doge still going up. All eyes on Doge. Still big run up to the moon. Keep going up. Going up. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin. Up. Movement in Doge. Dogecoin. Up. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin. Up. Movement in Doge. Dogecoin. 42.60. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin.
Hey everybody, Kriss here. Welcome on a Monday. How's everybody doing? Doge, just doing Dogecoin things right now. It's nap time, right? It's nap time. Getting tired. We had a little volatility today, little up and down. And we'll of course show you the leverage trading that got liquidated and all of that comes with it. And some of the storylines that are going on and kind of the outlook, like where things look like to be going from here. So we're going to cover all that. And I've been bearish. And I mean, it's bear market, right? Views are down. Not as many here in the chat. I appreciate everybody that does show up. But we don't always talk about crypto. We get into food, and we get into music, and we get into all kinds of things. And we'll do that again today. Because, I mean, how much really is there to talk about? The price is exactly where it was when I made the video this morning, despite all this up and down action. That's just the way it is. So welcome everybody. KrissPax here. Got my market cap on. Enjoying the market cap. Kind of enjoying the market cap. It's all right. It's all right. Get good response from the market cap, so we'll keep the market cap. And that's all right. Meanwhile, Bitcoin holds 91K. Ethereum, XRP, Dogecoin drift lower on quiet start to the week. And if you read crypto Twitter this morning, it was like Powell, Trump, DOJ, like all this stuff. It's volatility. And it was like, not so much. Not really so much. Zone had a good day, boss. I didn't even turn on the stocks. I didn't have my stock chart on at all. Huh. Zone, 36 cents. Huh. Not bad. I sold at 24 or 25. Yeah, whatever. I took the L, tax loss harvesting, like all that. So, yeah, so it's like kind of a big nothing burger today. Little up and down action. Shorts entered aggressively during the recent dip are now being forced to cover as price stabilizes and grinds higher, creating a squeeze. Yeah, there ended up not being much of one. We had a little bit of it last night, a little bit of it this morning, and prices are just falling right back. That's it. It's just the way it is. Sideways. Bitcoin at 91.2, and it's coming right back down as well. That's just the way the market is. Interesting post by John Deaton. If you don't know who John Deaton is, he's the one who ran against Elizabeth Warren 2 years ago. Of course, lost, right? But he's running again now against Ed Markey, who's up for the Senate. And a lot of talk about the Federal Reserve. What is the Federal Reserve supposed to be, right? The sort of independent monetary group that like oversees the United States in terms of monetary policy, right? But John says the Federal Reserve isn't a government agency. It's a banking cartel using the government as a shield. In 1910, the world's most powerful bankers met in secret to pull off the ultimate infinite money hack. Their plan: socialize risk, privatize gains. Once you realize how the magic of money, or better yet, the ghost dollar glitch, devalues your paycheck in order to bail out Wall Street, you'll never look at the dollar bill the same way. After the banks caused the 2008 great financial crisis, well, Ed Markey, along with other senators, but Ed Markey voted to bail them out, pumping trillions of dollars out of thin air. Main Street got foreclosed on. That's you and us, retail traders, while Wall Street got bailed out. Markey isn't for the little guy. He's a puppet of the bankers. And of course, what happened after the 2008 great financial crisis? Bitcoin was born, right? Followed by Litecoin and eventually Dogecoin. Because the money printing is so out of hand now. The debt continues to spiral upwards, $38.5 trillion and counting. And we still go to the grocery store every day with less and less money because our wages are not keeping up with inflation. Even though inflation is ticking down, our wages aren't keeping up. More and more money printing, more and more inflation, and nobody cares about us. That's just the way it is. How can we do it? Well, we can hedge, right? We can get into crypto. We hope that the price of crypto outpaces inflation. Right now, we're going sideways, so kind of in a holding pattern at the moment. But those all talk about super cycle and extended cycle and all of that stuff. We'll see what happened. We'll see what happens. The U.S. stock market is at all-time highs. The U.S. stock market, all-time highs, day after day after day. So the stock market, not doing bad. Gold, silver, all-time highs, right? So it's weird. You got the safety net of gold and silver, but you also have stocks hitting all-time high, but crypto is falling behind right now. The fact that the stock market is doing well is important for crypto. It means that there is a risk appetite. There is some money out there. They're just not buying crypto. They're buying stocks, and they're buying gold, and they're buying silver. So does crypto follow? Is there a rotation that happens? Not at the moment. It's not happening. It's not happening at the moment. Michael Vanderpop says, look, so far so good. This is great. No drop beneath the 21-day moving average. So this blue line here, 21-day moving average. We didn't drop below it. You know how I feel about that. It's a line on a chart, right? Doesn't mean anything to me, but we've seen drops below this before. I mean, we had it right here, right? Back in December, we dropped below the 21-day moving average. Came back above it. So we can drop below it just like we did before. So, sorry, Michelle, I don't agree with that. Dan Crypto says, look, Bitcoin, nothing happened for quite a while. Still a large chance that the monthly and yearly high or low is taken out. The low of 2026 was on January 1st. The high, we came up here on about the 5th, up to 94,700. So that's the range now for Bitcoin. This is the trading range. 87.4 at the low, 94.7 at the high. So we'll be watching those. Could we have a head and shoulder coming on? Could this be the other shoulder for Bitcoin? Are we going to see that play out? That would be the relief rally that I called for up to 102 and then dropping after would be a completion of the other shoulder. And from there, we could see prices back down to 69K. So that is the pattern. First shoulder, end of 2024, head, middle of 2025 until October, early October, when Bitcoin hit a new all-time high. And now, could we have this other shoulder forming here? Will we get a relief rally and a drop? How is that going to play out? We also have, yes, The open CME gap from the beginning of the year, the bottom at 88,200, those CME gaps, they tend to get filled sooner or later. 88,200. They tend to get filled sooner or later. So what does that mean? What does that mean for Doge? Well, Trader Allen's like, hey, look, we're still going to point to the end of 2024. We had that big run. So why don't we do that again, right? In 2026, why don't we do that again? And we know, right? We know how Dogecoin trades. It's just not going to go up like that organically. We need something. We need something to happen with Doge. Right now, there's this thing on X going on about Solana. And I'm like, I don't understand it. I don't know what it is. You got the head of whatever product of X who's like pumping something Solana based on X. And I'm like, but it's talking about DeFi and it's talking about tokens and I don't understand what it is. So I can't really comment on it yet. I got to do some more research. Is it disappointing for Doge that something on Solana is embedded into X? I suppose. I don't think it's as big a deal as people are making it out to be. I really don't. It's not like people are using Solana on X. Solana is a blockchain, right? And it's a platform on which other things trade. So again, I'm not sure what it is yet. I'm confused. But it's not like we would want Dogecoin to be used as a currency on X. Whatever's going on with Solana on X is not the same thing. So I don't know what else I can comment on it. But this, again, this could happen if we get that catalyst, that big Dogecoin catalyst. Whether it's Tesla, X, Elon, do something, then we can get this. But until then, it's going to be Chop City, I'm afraid. Chop City. So Dogecoin price outlook for 2026. What are the key levels? What comes next? We'll start here. So Dogecoin rebounded from the 12 to 12.5 cent support zone, price consolidating, however, below 15 cents after a failed breakout attempt. So 12 cents remains critical downside support. Market structure favors continuation rather than trend exhaustion. And this would be great if we had a lot of money flowing into crypto, which we don't right now. So, and this is interesting. I mean, this is the weekend, right? It was just straight sideways, right? Straight sideways trading. We had a little up action and a dump and took out all of those leveraged longs, recovery for more longs to come in, and then a second dump even lower. That's the game. We ended up with today's up and down action, taking out $268 million, about 57% long, which would be 43% short, so split almost halfway on liquidations, and thus that's why you get this up and down action here, because that's essentially what it is. It's taking out the shorts and then dumping and taking out longs. They're just playing the game. They're just playing the game. So now price outlook, you go to those prediction like Coin Codex and those, and they will say, looking through the rest of 2026, the most probable outcome is a gradual grind higher. And I'm like, no, they don't know how Dogecoin trades. Dogecoin rarely has a gradual grind higher. Now, during the summer, back in July, remember, we were going up a penny at a time, right? That was fun. Can we do that again? I don't know. But this throughout 2026, having a gradual grind higher, no, that's just not how Dogecoin trades. Not how Dogecoin trades. we could look at Bitcoin census and say, woohoo, right? Let's go up 3,000% up to $4.50. And I'm just like, what are you doing? So far this cycle, Doge has maintained its ground and mainly moving sideways and slightly upwards. Would this cycle be explosive as the last ones? And I say, yeah, this cycle's already done. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. This cycle's done. This isn't going to happen. I'm sorry. We're not going to get a 3,000% gain in the price of Dogecoin to $4.50. Now, I could lie to you, right? And be all of a sudden promising this Dogecoin to the moon every day and talking about all these great things. Dogecoin is going to blast off without a care in the world. And I'd get more viewers, right? There'd be more excitement. But I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I would rather be right than to start shilling Dogecoin like it's another meme token and getting people to buy in. Because I don't want to take that responsibility. So, oh, you told me to buy. And I'm just like, hey, I just don't play that game. Lie to me, Ryan says. Just lie to me. Go ahead, lie. No, cycle 3 is over, guys. It actually, for Dogecoin, it ended a year ago. And, we're almost coming up on the 1-year anniversary of Trump inauguration. Remember that? Remember the Trump token? Remember the inauguration? And you started talking about tariffs and down we went. Yeah, good times. That's it. That's it. The cycle doesn't go. See, he compares, right? Cycle 1 goes 2014 to 2018. What was 2018? Bear market year, right? And then he goes this is supposed to be, he says 2018 to 2022, bear year, right? 22 to 2026, that would be another bear year, unfortunately. Yeah, my subs count is actually going down right now. So I don't know how I increase subs. I just show up every day. I give you the news. I tell you what's going on. We can talk about Trump and Powell and the Fed. We can talk about, that whole craziness. But I'm just like, it's not good. And all the things Trump has already done this year, none of it's good for crypto. Yeah, there's supposed to be this Clarity Act coming out, but the Clarity Act is really just doing everything they can to throttle back crypto so they can push their beloved stablecoins, because it's all going to be about stablecoins. We need this, right? We need a big catalyst for Doge to get Doge to go rocketing upwards, and I still think that's going to happen. Unfortunately, not to $4.50. Not anytime soon. Give it another 4 years, right? Maybe 2028, 2029, we might see something. I don't know. But we have our good friend Pennybags who just says, look, Dogecoin, a currency that isn't spent is just a collectible. A currency that isn't spent is just a collectible, like Bitcoin, right? It's just a collectible. It's not a currency. Doge's design ensures it remains affordable for everyone. Scarcity creates gold. Abundance creates an economy. Hashtag Dogecoin. And I know a lot of you have bought Dogecoin because you wanted to go up so you can get rich. And I get that. But there's a lot of people out there who just want to use something other than the dollar that's fun, that is not controlled by the Fed, right? Not controlled by the government. Decentralized currency. That would be Dogecoin. That's Dogecoin. And I know There's a lot of people who come and talk to me about, oh, unlimited supply. You know, the only way Doge is going to go up in price is if they cap. Well, go buy something else then. Just go buy something else. Don't come here and complain to me about Dogecoin's unlimited supply, because that's not what Dogecoin is. If you want to go buy something that doesn't have an inflation to it, go buy SHIB, right? They're not going to make any more SHIB tokens. So go buy SHIB. Good luck, right? Or go buy Bitcoin. But don't complain to me about Dogecoin's unlimited supply. I've said time and time again how Dogecoin works as a proof of work cryptocurrency. Totally decentralized. No big developer bags, right, of Dogecoin. There isn't any. There's no big developer bags like SHIB has, like Solana has, right? Doesn't exist with Doge. That's why I like Doge. That's why I talk about Doge. I love Doge. Did I make money on Doge? Sure. I took profits, right? But I still have a bag. So I still love it. Anyway, it's just one of those things I was thinking about today. Sheep Girl 67. The Sheep Girly. Yeah. There was some chart this morning when I got up and I was looking on X, and somebody had this SHIB chart that says, oh, looks like SHIB is about to go. It's about to blow. And I'm just like, that is the worst SHIB. That's the worst chart I've ever seen. There's nothing more bearish than the SHIB chart. Oh. So here we are, 1369. 1369 on the Dogecoin chart right now. That's what we got. How you guys doing there in the chat? How are you guys doing? I know it's just a number. 67, 69. You're now compo 67. 6, 7, you know, whatever. This weekend, driving around, you're going to like this one, Ryan, which I had no idea about. Let me type this in here. There was this song, and I had the song on my iPod. I didn't even think about it. And I'm cruising around, and this song comes on, and this is the title of the song. It's from Robert Plant in 1985. It's called Sixes and Sevens. Sixes and Sevens. And I just started laughing. Miss KrissPax is looking at me like, what are you laughing at? And I tried to explain the 6-7 thing to her, and she doesn't get it. She's like, what? What is that? And I'm just like, it's a thing. I don't know. Look it up. Just go look it up. Yeah, like a Led Zeppelin thing. It's Robert Plant. You know, when he did his solo, he did a couple of really good solo albums in the 1980s. And this song was Sixes and Sevens. And I'm just laughing. It's like, wow. Who knew? Who knew like 40 years later, there would be this 6-7 thing? Oh. It's just one of those little things in life, right? That just makes you smile. It just makes you laugh. 6-7. 6-7. Yeah, get it on your... I got to, right? Oh, for him too. 69,420 for Nick. Yeah. All these numbers. Hey, Jam, how are you? Riding the Doge train. Adding weekly. The Prince getting a little Doge every day. Yeah, Joanna. I did. I trimmed it down, right? And made it a banner. Look at that. There we are with the market cap. I just had to. Thank you. Thank you for capturing that. And I'm just like, oh, that's awesome. I'll just put that up there. I mean, the Miami Beach one was a good one too, but it's like that one. That's more a snapshot of what's going on right now. It's that right there. I like that. So yeah, that's now my my X banner. Thank you. Adoption of Doge, Sean, huh? What's the average amount of Dogecoin in someone's bag on average worldwide? There's no way to know. There's no way to know. Waiting on the miners. 6s and 7s. He texted me 6-7. Of course. Doge versus Sheeb. Really? You know what? I just don't have time for this. I'll just put you in a timeout. And you can listen in. You can just listen in. I'm a baseball fan. I think you need to go rally cap. Yes, it's like a rally cap, right? But no, flip it inside out, like true rally cap form. We're not there yet. Once we start moving up, maybe I'll do that. Oh, I didn't boot him. I just put him in a timeout. He can listen in. He just can't engage in the chat. Robinhood is the biggest Doge holder, but you know what? That's not Robinhood's coins. That's our coins. That's ours. We own that. Robinhood just has to have a backup of all the Doge that's held on its platform. So if there's 30 billion Dogecoin that are held by users of Robinhood, then those are our coins. That's in Robinhood's bag. That's ours. And of course, yes, not your keys, not your coins. So if you're holding Doge on Robinhood, they're not your coins. You're just betting the price, and Robinhood holds the coins because they have the keys. They have the keys. Now that's quite a number, Nick. That's a real number. Don't want to mess with that. Don't want to mess with that. So yeah, if you withdraw all your coins, Robinhood can't fake it and have to buy more if they're selling paper coins. Yeah, I'm guessing. I mean, they've never published. Yeah, Robinhood has never published how much of that Dogecoin is actually held in users' accounts. They've never published that, so we have no idea. I'm guessing back in February 2021, when Robinhood, the ability to buy Dogecoin on Robinhood was getting throttled, was because Robinhood had to buy coins to match what people were buying on their platform because they didn't have enough. And that was a one-time deal. And that's how they ended up at like 36 or 37 billion overall. And I think that's come down since then because there's not as many Doge being held in users' accounts on Robinhood today as there was back in February 2021. That's my hunch. So they don't really have to buy and sell the Doge that they bought back in 2019 to early 2021. They haven't had to buy any since then because that was the peak of the amount of Doge that was actually held in users' accounts. So I think that's the deal with Robinhood right now. But yeah, they still have the largest wallet. Their cold wallet. So I so got to get my Sweet Prince XRP cap. Yep. An XRP cap. Time to go, Modelo. Any brand name plus Doge will bank. Just a matter of time. We're waiting. We got time, right? We got time to wait. I just don't think it's happening as soon as what these guys are saying here. It's just not. I just don't see that. Even with a game, Sean, it's like, I mean, what do? Do you divide it by like 8 billion people? Because there's 8 billion people in the world. And there's 150 billion Dogecoin. 156 billion. So yeah, what would that be then? It would be 10, maybe 15 Doge each. That'd average out if everybody in the world had Dogecoin. Just a mental game, I guess. Does it concern you that every time there's large volume on Doge on Robinhood that the platform seems to freeze up? Yeah, they've never fixed it. They've never fixed it. The big trading volume, I mean, when it really, really peaks, Dogecoin or Robinhood can't handle it. We saw that on October 10th, right? Same thing happened. Yeah, they can't handle it. Does it concern me? It is what it is. You just take that for what Robinhood is. If it bothers you, then don't trade on Robinhood. Go to Coinbase or something. Market patterns often rhyme. Sentiment driving them doesn't always match. Yeah, we talk a lot about patterns. There's a lot of people who are trying to make patterns out of what's happening with Dogecoin now versus 2023 and 2024 patterns. And I'm just like, well, that was during the bull cycle. We're not in that anymore. So I don't buy it. 13,666. There you go. 666 right there. Not a good sign, right? I know. Trump and Powell getting along so well. They're frenemies. They're frenemies is what they are. Remember, it wasn't a few months ago, Trump actually went over to the Fed building and they were walking through with hard hats. Trump wanted to see what it looked like. What $2.5 billion of a construction cost it looks like. And Trump was like, yeah, this doesn't cost that much. It shouldn't cost that much. But why is it Powell's fault? So then they drag him into Congress, right? And they ask him a bunch of questions about the project. You know, Federal Reserve building, big renovation, $2.5 billion. I mean, it's not like Jerome Powell is a contractor, right? And actually doing the work. I mean, Trump was just looking for a reason to sack him earlier and not have to wait till May. So they're going to drag him through this. It's politics. It's just politics. It's part of the game. You get into politics. I'm not getting into politics. No frickin' way. No frickin' way would I get into politics. We got time. We got Doge. Yeah. Rhyming patterns, Matt, actually it's just made up by people like me and others who just try and look for patterns. But they rarely really repeat. They rarely repeat. I mean, my whole thesis was we would get this big Bitcoin relief rally, right? Just like we did in 2022. Same thing. Big relief rally, right? Well, that's not happening, right? That was this move. Big relief rally up to 100K, maybe 102. Nope. Bitcoin's like, yeah, I know, Kriss. I'm not doing that. We started to. So failed rhyming pattern already right off the bat. Couldn't do it. My Monday's pretty good, Maramello. I was expecting a little more volatility today. But nope, in the end, they're just wicks. I mean, look at the Bitcoin daily candle, right? Big wick down, big wick up. That's kind of the summary of the day right there. You can only see the wicks on the screen because they're so thin, but they're there. Wick down, right below 90K. Wick up to 92.4. That's about sums up the day. It's probably a lot of small holders that bought in as FOMO during the last 3 cycle peaks. Could be. For Doge, there's a lot of people who bought up high. And look, even this cup and handle, right? We were ready for this handle to close. Remember that? No, it's just bleeding out, down, lower. That's bear market stuff right there. You get a little pump and then it just slowly sells off. Can't even do a cup and handle. I was not able to watch the Saturday basketball game. I did see highlights, but I already had plans Saturday night. I actually wasn't too far from the Garden. I wasn't too far, and I knew Wemby was in there. But yeah, I couldn't go in. I was doing something else. Had plans. Looked like it was a good game, though. Looked like it was a good game. All eyes on Doge. No, whales don't hold most of the Doge. Exchanges do. Because most of us who bought on exchanges just have our Doge sitting on exchanges. So the exchanges hold most of the Doge. What's going on with Iran? Yeah, not a good thing. I don't think the current regime leaders are going to let go that easy. And it's not going to be good for the United States to go in with a bunch of missiles taking out the current regime. Why would we do that? That's not our war. 13,667, I know. Keeps fluctuating back and forth between 666, 667. I thought they were only our coins if we had them on the wallet. I thought that if we were left on the platform, we're just buying the price. Yep, that's correct. No, you're absolutely right, Matt. Not our coins. We're just buying the price on Robinhood. Robinhood actually owns the coins. They say on our behalf. No, we're just buying the price on Robinhood. Buying and selling on Robinhood does nothing affecting the price, overall price of Dogecoin, because there's nothing moving on the blockchain when we buy and sell on Robinhood. There's no blockchain thing happening. It has zero effect on the price. If you buy and sell on Coinbase, that is something. That is a true exchange, but not Robinhood. 13 cents support. If that doesn't hold, then down to 12 we go. Yep. For governor, mayor, could I fix Boston? No. I couldn't fix Boston. This is a sanctuary city with a left-leaning mayor that's doing the same kind of crap that's happening in other Democrat-led towns. It's all happening here too. I can't fix it. I can't fix it. President? President of what? I, I'll be the president of our Dogecoin fan club. How about that? I'll be president of that. And Prime Minister of England, too. Oh, my God. Craziness. Did I miss the heat map? No, I haven't called up the heat map yet. All I called out was the total number of liquidations, but not the actual heat map. So let's see what's going on with the heaty map. The heaty map. I already know based on the price action, right, that the price went up, took out some shorts, and then they dumped it. I was expecting to see more shorts than that, though. Let's see. No, it's all down here still. Bunch of leverage longs down here. 89.8 down to 89.4. Well, that's got a target on it. That's got a target on it. Let's go to the 3-day. Yeah, look at that. Big clusters of long leverage trades down here. Oh, my friends, that doesn't look good. Let's see what Dogecoin looks like. Yeah, Dogecoin has some big ones down here at about 13.3. 13.3. And that would be like $3 million right there of Dogecoin longs at 13.3. Yeah, we may be going back down. And also with Bitcoin, 88.2 again is the right there, the CME gap. That goes down to 88.2. So we could see that close, 88.2. And that would take out a lot of leverage if they decide to do that. So that's a thing. That's a thing. But for now, yeah, we just kind of bled out of the out of the handle there. Didn't happen. My friend holds over 5 million Dogecoin. He says he's not selling any for 10 to 20 years. Generally, that works in crypto, right? You buy and you hold for a long period of time. Yeah, that whole Macron and Brigitte, whether Brigitte's a man or not, that's hilarious. I guess she's actually suing someone who was making a lot of man jokes about her. So yeah, I stay away from that stuff. I'm just like, whatever. I just stay away. I don't really want to get sued, you know? Yeah, no, not really. Hope we're all eating a nice dinner. Tacos. It's Taco Monday? That's tomorrow, DB. Taco Tuesday is tomorrow, not today. Is the lack of a bull market an indicator of a lack of a bear market? That's a good question, Matt. That's a good question. I was talking about that. Now, what was the reference there about less volatility and the flattening out, right, of crypto? I touched on it a little bit, I think, on this morning's video. And I've generally been talking about it bits and pieces. But yeah, it could just be the whole market, the volatility just squeezing down. And so we get a lot more of this, what we see here, which is just this sideways action kind of slowly bleeding in the bear, but not really violent. I mean, we saw that on October 10th, right? We saw the big crash and then recovery, and then the bleed out towards the end of the year. But then we covered somewhat at the beginning of the year, but it's like really tough trading overall. Turbo. I'm going to go down behind the truck stop and see if I can find any used chicken necks, half-eaten donuts. Yeah, be careful about that. The Bears did good. The Bears did good. I didn't get to see any of that game because I had obligations, right? Was doing something else. So didn't get to watch the Spurs, didn't get to watch the Bears. That's all right. It's just sports. You know my whole thing on sports, right? It's to distract us from what's really going on in the government, right? Keep us happy. They just want to keep us happy. Nation building is what we do best. I know, right? The CIA is the actual nation builders. Possible to see 6 cents in a bear market? Yes. And we mapped it with our fib retracement tool, mapped it out when we were talking about all the bottoms, bear market bottoms. So we did a whole live stream on that about a month ago. Bear market bottoms. If you believe that, then we're back to 7 cents and probably touching down in the 6s on some wicks. That's what that would be. Chili's. I saw Chili's doing well. Chili's, right? CHZ. Chili's. Up 3% today, but it had a big run here on Saturday. So we can measure for the past week, right? And it's up almost 20%, about 20% for Chili's. It's something's in the green, right? At least it's something. It's had a couple moves here. 18th, 19th of December, 30th into the 31st of December, and then the 10th, 11th of January. So something's going on with this token. Seeing some good news. So since the dip on the 18th, it's up 78%. Nice. Chili's. Yeah, I didn't buy any of this. You never know which one's going to go wild. But if you were holding this from mid-December, that 78% gain is pretty nice. Today, everyone's talking about Monero, right? New all-time high on Monero. I mean, that's, woo, came up over $600. I wouldn't be buying this over $600. I would not be. Because that is overbought right now. That's what that looks like to me. Overbought on Monero. A lot of this was because of what happened to Zcash, right? Because you look at Monero and then you look at Zcash and you'll see, yeah, maybe you don't want to be in Zcash right now because it's going the other way, opposite of Monero. Holding above 400 today, but anyway, yeah. Or you could be Doge and you had like 5 great days of trading to begin 2026. And now we're starting to see a pattern here that's not really great, right? You choose a different color here. We're starting to see a pattern here we don't really like. So that's not great. Downward channel is now forming. And this is from, yeah, the 5th of January. Not really great. So we didn't get the handle on our cup and handle. We didn't get a continuation up for our relief rally on Bitcoin. Just the market doesn't look great. If someone theoretically bought millions of Dogecoin on Robinhood and transferred it off the platform into a wallet, would it then affect the price? No, because it's a transfer. It's just a transfer. That's what you would see on the blockchain, is a transfer from wallet to wallet. So I don't know if that would really mean much. Any X Money page notifications? I haven't seen anything. They just took off the launching in 2025 thing. It's just dead. Nothing going on X Money. A portrait of me and Elon. Really? A portrait. Me and Elon. I got to see this portrait. Oh, hey, Elon's right here. How did Elon get into my office? All right. I'm wearing man, I got some nice necklaces there. That's nice. And Elon is right here. I love that. I love that. Oh, that's great. Oh, that is cool. Oh, look at that watch I got too. How did I get that? How did I get that watch? Huh, a nice little gold watch there. Wish I actually had that. Wish I actually had that. That's good. Thanks. I love that. Oh. Tacos are for every day. Yeah, it's Taco Tuesday. That's tomorrow. You want to join us at Fogo Riverwalk? I'm going to be there on March 10th. On March 10th. Oh. But he can't reveal his identity. You're stuck. You're stuck, Ron. What? You don't eat meat? No, I know that's not true. I saw those burgers. I saw those burgers. He's kidding. Kidding. Texan that doesn't eat meat. Yeah, he's kidding. And a special boy. Oh, man. If we see 6 cents again, there's going to be some loading up of Doge. Others will ask, should I buy? Exactly. Should I buy now? And I'm just like, what are you talking about? So I did post this thing from Ali, right? You saw the Ali post, right? This one right here. Doge on the monthly. If selling continues, 6 cents is where Dogecoin could find support. 6 cents from our friend Ali, which of course means it's not going to happen because Ali posted it. 6 cents. It's almost like this 9 cent line doesn't really exist. I'm guessing it's a 9. I don't know what, he didn't call out what level that is. I'll have to figure that out. It was the 2024 dip. Well, the dip went down to 9. This is probably 6, 16, halfway through. So maybe that's like 11. It's like 11 cents. Just plow right through it, I guess. Meanwhile, we're just going lower. 13.59 now. Not good. Why did the cup and handle not work? I know, right, Ryan? It's supposed to always work. These are like, they're just tried and true, like patterns, right? Cup, handle. Come on. The handle's broken. The handle's broken. Why didn't that work? What's with the Mr. T starter kit? The bling. I bought gold with Dogecoin. That actually would have been a good move, right? If I bought it at the top of Doge and I bought gold and then gold low and then gold goes on a run. Oh, those were cheat days. Does that mean I'm going to be stuck eating vegetarian when I come to San Antonio? Is that what that means? Vegetarian? I don't know anything about lucky miners. Sorry, William. I don't know. 5-cent Doge, come on, man. My lucky fib lines say 6.5. My lucky fib lines could be like, I don't know, 6.6 or 6.7. I had to run. Oh, 9.5 cents more likely. And the 9.5 cents is the one, if you don't do the fib line, right? If you don't do the fib line, we don't need my name on here anymore. Then you look at the wick from October 10th, and that was 9.5 cents right there. I should actually circle that or something, right? I never actually did that. I was thinking about it, but that's that line right there. Yeah, I'll just keep that. That's the 9.5 cent target right there. And that was on Binance. That was the bottom of the wick on October 10th. It was 9.5. 11 cents incoming. It's going to be a slow trek down to get back to 11 cents. It's not going to be a big dump, like not a big immediate dump. You had some killer Mexican food on the Riverwalk. Can't remember the place, but San Antonio has a lot of it. TA is fine until it isn't. Yes, Campo. Exactly. Yep, the numbers, 6, 6, 6, 7, somewhere in there. I can eat all the, of course, and I will. And then what are you going to be, like eating lettuce? Well, I'm eating a big juicy burger. You're just going to be gnawing on some lettuce, like a little chunk of cucumber or something. What? No pressure. No, I don't think by May and June we'll be on the rise. Somewhere along the way, there's going to be a little pump. I don't know when it's going to be. Yeah, nibble on some grass. Exactly. I said I was buying dinner. Come on. Good Mexican food only exists in San Diego. San Diego. Only good Mexican food. Yeah, a Cumber burger. There you go. If you want a cure for veganism, I usually recommend bacon. Have some bacon. Have some bacon. Oh. I don't like this pattern here. I don't like the pattern. This is a daily chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 daily candles in a row. That's not good. That's Dogecoin. Bitcoin doesn't have that. Bitcoin is curled up and is in the green. Doge is going down. That's not good. That means this was for the time. That means all this is like totally overbought. Not good. Sui is right there with Doge. I don't think Sui has had 7 red days in a row. I don't think so. Well, let's take a look. Close. It had a flat green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, and a flat green at the top and then a flat green yesterday. Close, but not quite the same pattern. But I mean, we could draw it though, and it's probably going to be close to this, right? But it's flattening out a little more than Doge. Doge just looks weak, unfortunately. Looks a little weak. Yeah. Is bacon a good investment? Because you're like, you're like going in like, bacon. Why not? Bacon. Hey, James, can you explain the candle symbol meanings when the wick is on the top and the bottom, short in the middle? Sure. What's a good one to look at? We can look at the current Bitcoin one right here. We can look at the current Bitcoin one. So Bitcoin has a wick up right there, right? And it's got a wick down. And I'm just drawing in yellow so you can see it really bright. Okay, so these are these wicks that are right here. You can put that right there and put that right there. So I'll highlight them. Okay, so this is the action today on Dogecoin. So Dogecoin ended yesterday at 90,877. So that's that. That's that line right there. And let me make that purple. Okay. So this is where the price of Bitcoin started the day yesterday. And that was 7 o'clock East Coast time, my time. That's where the day ends. That's where yesterday ended. So we had a green day yesterday for Bitcoin. It ended at this line here, 90,000. Let's just call it 90,850, whatever. That's where it started today. Right now, the price is at 91,158, which is higher, so you get a green body. But during the trading of the day, we saw this up and down action. So we had this big like dump down to 89.9, but we had a run that came up to 92.4. So those are the wicks. And what usually happens with those wicks is you get all this area down here where they're taking out leveraged longs, and you get all this area here where they're taking out shorts. So that's the market makers moving the price up and down, or it could be traders, right? Day traders, swing trades, right? Price goes up, they sell, price goes down, or the price goes down and people buy in and bring the price back up. So that's what that is. So that's what the wicks show. They just show the trading in the day, up and down. You can get some really violent wicks that happen. Oh, we were showing that before. Back over here. We were showing that. Same thing. Like we can go to Doge and we can look at the big wick on October 10th, right? That was the wick. So that was the price action. Started the day up here at 24.8, wicked all the way down to 9.5, and ended the day at 19.4. That's one of the most violent wicks I've ever seen. Was that? And of course, we were here to share that live when that happened. But that's one of the biggest wicks I've ever seen. Is that wick? What is the percentage of that? 53%. That's a 53% wick. Wow. A 53% wick down, which means up. That wick is 100% up on a wick. 53% down, 100% up on a daily wick. That's pretty wild. Hey, Kronos, how are you? Trying to catch up on 2x speed, and then you'll get here into live, and then I'll be like talking really slow. You were talking to your parents in San Antonio, SA. I'm guessing that means San Antonio. Weekly call on a Monday. Nice to have that habit. I hope my kids do that with me. I see them. But when it comes to the time when I don't see them, I hope I get those calls. I hope I get those weekly check-ins. Probably means South Africa. That's right. I guess San Antonio isn't quite the same level as South Africa. Hope everyone's had an awesome day so far. I have, except for a stupid Dogecoin price, but I mean, it is what it is. John Wick is the biggest wick I've ever seen. That's good. That's good, John. John Wick. One bite at a time. It was hard to believe. No resilience. Yeah, there was no liquidity. Totally wiped out. And Doge wasn't the worst. I think Atom was the worst I saw. It was Atom. Remember Atom? We were watching it. And I was just like, whoa. October 10th. Right? So that's 50% down, 100% up. Look at Atom. Remember this? Because we were watching it. It was just like, how did that happen? Where's the Atom? There it is. Binance. Well, that one doesn't look so bad. I thought it was bigger on another. Let's see what this one ended up being. It must have been on another exchange we were looking at. Yeah, it was about the same, 52% down. And then, yeah, about almost 100% up. It might have been one of these other ones, though, that we were looking at, like OKX. Now that ends up being about the same, too. $3 to $1.50. Yep. Anyway, Bad day. Bad day. Except if you're like Ryan and Charlotte. I remember things. What was the Doge volume that day? It was one of the biggest I've seen. So that volume line, let's do a horizontal line there. So we had volume above that back on 3rd of February 2025. Was a bigger volume trading that day. And then we had another day back on November 2024. Our volume was up over that line. Right? Oh, it changes as you move across. It's up there, though. It's up there. I know we'd have to go look in the history and see like how many billions of dollars that was, because there was a lot. That day you want to delete from memory. Ryan and Charlotte don't want to delete it from memory. Oh, October 10th. October 10th. Right? Oh, here we go with Trump and his tariffs again. Trump says Iran trade partners will face 25% tariffs from the U.S. as he's pressuring Tehran. It's stupid tariffs again. Ugh. And my reaction too, I know. Quite the interesting day, was it right? Was it right? Quite the interesting day. You'll never forget it. Never forget it. I remember me and Ms. KrissPax on Easter. It was an Easter Sunday. It was an Easter Sunday. An Easter Sunday was the day between us. It was an Easter Sunday. We'll never forget it. My reaction was like this. It was like, oh, I'm sorry, guys. I had my head in my hand. I remember it was just shaking my head. It's like, sorry, guys. And it's on the video. You can go back and watch it. It's on my channel, October 10th. We saw it live, and it's there. That live stream is a video on my channel, October 10th. That was tough. Some people rewatched it just to see it all happen again. I couldn't do that. I was just like, man, melting faces, right? Faces were literally melting that day. Yeah, that was some crazy stuff. Yeah, we'll see what happens with the Supreme Court on Wednesday, I mean. You're right. It just doesn't make sense to me that it's a Supreme Court thing. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking they're going to like not say yes or no. And they're just going to like kick it back to a lower court or something. And they're not going to decide. They're not going to make a final decision like it's constitutional or not. That's my guess. Yeah, you think they're going to back Trump. I think it's going to be in between. They're going to do something that's not a yes or no. I think they're going to kick it back or do something. That's my experience on these things. Watch me be right too. Watch me be right. Will Trump acquire Greenland before 2027? 18% chance. Wow. I'm looking for Fed decision. No. It should be one of the top ones. The Supreme Court decision. Now we got to go Supreme Court. Supreme Court in favor of Trump's tariffs. Still 28%. It's 28 still. It actually had dipped down to about 21. A few days ago, it was 21. Now back up to 28. Supreme Court rules in favor of Trump's tariffs. 28. See, I think it's going to be a wash. I think it's not going to be a yes or no. The market will resolve to yes if the Supreme Court of the United States issues a decision that reverses, vacates, or otherwise overturns the U.S. Court of Appeals for a federal circuit from August 29th. Let's see. The federal circuit held that the tariffs imposed by executive orders exceeded the president's authority under the international law. Otherwise, this market will resolve to a no. Otherwise, will resolve to a no. Supreme Court rules in favor of Trump's tariffs. In favor of Trump's tariffs. To reverse, vacate, or otherwise overturn the Court of Appeals. So if they kick it back down, that's part of the 72%. If they kick it back down. Maybe that's why 72% is getting more votes, because there are people who think like me. That they're not going to reverse it, but they're not going to they're not going to reverse it. They're going to kick it back. That's what I think. Thank you, Kronos. Appreciate it. Appreciate all you guys being here. Trying to keep it real. That's what I always say. I try and keep it real here. Too bad they can't have a 6-7 ruling, Ryan. If they get 13 members of the court, like Biden wanted, right? They could do that. 6-7. The lower court said it was illegal. They could kick it back down and they could ask them to review it again, is what they could do. Yeah, there's some noise. I don't know what it is. Something's going on. I got to check it out. I hear a noise. I think it's in the mechanical system. There's something. It's not a washing machine, though. At least I don't think so. I have to check that out, though. Oh, that's right. You can't joke about the Supreme Court. You got to watch what you say. You could end up in jail. And half the things you say here, if you said them in the UK, you'd be in jail. So when you go visit the UK, be careful what you post online there, Mr. Ryan. Be very careful. You don't want to mess with that. Charlotte has to be careful what she says online. She could be in jail. If I was a snake, I'd have bit you. Always assume I'm watching. always assume I'm there. The shadow. The shadow. Yeah, they'll take your job. Yeah, I kind of have to watch what I say too. I don't go too far off the rails and many times say online what I really feel. I have to be careful as well. Until I retire, and then it's like, watch out. Yeah, it just ended. You're right. So you could hear that. It was bothering you. Now I'm not going to know what it was because it stopped. It stopped. I think it was something in the heating system. Because it's cold here. I'm in Boston. It's cold. All right, gang, going to end it here. 1368, right between 67 and 69. Good place to end. Hey, I'll be live again tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to be right at 4 o'clock again, though. Today I was able to make it at 4, but tomorrow it's going to be like 4:30 or 5, I think, tomorrow. 4:35. I am really in Boston. Yes. Yes, Christoph. I'm here in Beantown, baby. Watched the New England Patriots win last night. Great football game. Boston Celtics playing tonight. Probably going to win too. You're welcome, Maramello. I keep streaming. I streamed all through the bear market, 2022, 2023. I wasn't here every day though. I was like 3 times a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's what I did back then. We'll see. We'll see. Hey, KP's here. Thanks for checking in and saying hi. Thanks for checking in. I hope everyone has a great Monday night. We'll see you next time.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has like skyrocketed to not a joke anymore. It hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have millions of shares.
Didn't Elon tweet that too?
And arguably, the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.